AMH Craft and Forge, Everett, Washington.
Hi, welcome to AMH Craft and Forge. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking the piece of Damascus that I made in my previous video. If you haven't seen that, I suggest go back and checking it out so you can see how I arrived with this little nugget. And going to be taking this, hammering it out into a knife, and then grinding it up, throwing it in some ferric chloride to reveal the pattern. So I've just drilled some holes in here, just little dimples to see if it'll create a raindrop pattern. I've never done this before, so let's see what happens. Let's go. Alright, I had to pause because you can see right over here, these dimples are getting squished, and if that continues out into here, that's going to become an inclusion. So I need to grind more of these bigger ones pretty well flat so that this doesn't happen. Alright, here we go. Straight out of the forge. So now I'm going to take it to the take it to the grinder, profile it. I got that thing looking pretty stinking straight. Alright, so let's clean her up a bit. Alright. I hit it up with some 120 just on the belt grinder. And now I'm going to start grinding the edge. Hi, baby. Alright. Got it cleaned up and ground a little bit. Just down to a 120. This is not going to be the final thing, but I have cleaned it up enough to throw it in the tank and see what the pattern is beneath. And it is all solid. Look at that. I'm pretty pleased about that. There's just a little thing right there, but that doesn't go through in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not concerned about that. And then, what's it? Right there, that seam, that doesn't even go to the other side. So all in all, solid piece. Let's throw it in the acid bath. Alright, so I just hit it with some 220. Take the lines out a little bit more. I'm going to do this, of course, after I quench it. But now I'm going to put the maker's mark right there. Easy. And a little maker's mark punch for my hand. There we go. That's my logo. I'm going to slap it on there. Not only does it sing, but it is absolutely straight. I know it's kind of hard to see from that angle, but it quenched. All right, let's throw in the oven. All right, so fresh off of the belt grinder at 220, and you can see along the bevel, it's hard to do even grinding, so I'm gonna take it back to the grinder with a Scotch-Brite pad to kind of even up the grinds. This side turned out pretty good, but see, there's just like some little pitting there, which is okay because there's nothing along the bevel that's pitted, so that is all solid. And then I'm going to hand sand the rest of this down to probably 600. So here we go. All right, so I've poured warm water in here because the heat is going to help the acid react quicker, at least so I believe. So it's already filled up to right about there. And I'm going to put that much in. So notice how much darker this is than this, because this is fresh. That's been around for, I don't know, a couple months or so. All right, now gonna give these guys a bath. Don't really want them touching each other. So there we go. Now I'm gonna let that sit in there for, well, I'm gonna take Annie for a walk and I'll come back and take him out and see where we're at. So probably about half an hour. All right, here we go. Gonna throw it in the baking soda solution to neutralize the acid. But look how dark that is. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at how dark that is. All right, you're gonna hang out in there. And here's our guy from the video. Look at that. So this neutralizes the acid, so it stops eating away at the metal. You can see it's kind of frothy, as it should be. Oh my God! Oh, look at that pattern. No, you can't even see it yet. We're gonna have to wait on that. All right, I left those to dry overnight because the Seahawks played last night and beat the 49ers, so we have the first seed going into the playoffs here. So let's take a look. Oh yeah. Look at that shiny. So now we're going to take some high grit sandpaper and just shine it up a bit and try to keep as much of the black patina on there as possible. All right. So when you put it in the acid eats away more at the dark stuff. Where's my finger? There's my finger. And the nickel doesn't get eaten away as much. So when I hit it with the fine sandpaper, I think I'm going to go either 800 or 1200. It should just graze the top. Actually, if I... Oh yeah, I can feel it raised. And see, none of it's coming off because it's dried on there, which is what I wanted. All right, well, let's do it. All right, here we go. Got some 1200 grit. Now we're just going to scuff it away. Look at that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's looking good. Still got some more work to do. All right, second time. You can already see the pattern. Let's make it come alive. Oh, yeah. yeah, look at that. All right, let's get this other side done. You can already see the pattern peeking through. Let's open it up. Oh yeah. Look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Let's keep going. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's tight. All right, gonna throw a little 3-in-1 oil on there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go for the final reveal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, after 2 baths in the ferric chloride, that's the pattern that we ended up with. So smooth. All right, and as a bonus, this is the other piece that I didn't show the forging of. And I actually like the design, the look of that blade better than the first one, but they can't all be zingers, as Primus said. But that pattern, look at that. Look at that. All solid. Yeah, pretty happy with how all of this turned out. So, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you on the next video in a year. Hopefully less, but yeah, take it easy.